Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, firstly, just to point out, people sell fur as a means of profit. Most vendors would not care if it is morally correct or not, as long as they have the money in their pocket at the end of the day. The majority of people who still wear or buy fur are unaware of the inhumane conditions on fur farms and the effect they have on the environment. I agree with the definition the affirmative team. In this debate, my team and I will be presenting the negative side to wearing fur. I will be talking about the inhumane conditions in which the animal are held on the fur farms. The second speaker will give examples of other materials and methods of staying warm and fashionable other than fur. The final speaker will then talk about the impacts this fur hunting could potentially cause on our fauna. As the first affirmative has stated, it is true since centuries ago fur has been used for as clothing. However, the difference between then and today is they did not have many other choices for warmth and comfort. Nowadays we have heating, cotton, we have several other materials for warmth, we have even created thermal underwear. So there is no way to compare the two time periods. How exactly is us killing and using the fur of these animals better furthering our society? It does not help us to develop cures or create new technologies. Nowadays, wearing fur is solely for fashion. We have many other choices when it comes to warmth. Although the affirmative side will refer to indigenous people who have practiced this for years and years, this is somewhat irrelevant. Indigenous are not the ones overusing it and reaping the profits from these inhumane fur farms, which I will get onto later. The negative speaker began to ask, where will this end? We are not talking about ending use of animals for every use, are we? We are simply arguing whether it is okay to wear fur in today's society. Eating animals is a completely different topic. We need to eat these meats for our survival. It is impossible to have a healthy and balanced diet without these proteins. However, the use of fur is not essential to our survival. As I have previously stated, we have many other efficient ways of keeping ourselves warm. The affirmative side mentioned the millions of people who depend on this industry. If so many people depend on this industry, perhaps a bit more funding can be put into it to actually allow the animals to have enough breathing room and skin them in proper and humane ways. She then states, since foxes are not primarily used as fur anymore in this country, they have reached plague proportions. Then what animals have replaced the foxes? I seem to have noticed a lot of stores selling kangaroo and endangered species pellets rather than foxes. Perhaps it is not the foxes that are overpopulated, but rather that because of our hunting, our native species are dismal in comparison. Now, the biggest problem we have with this industry is the fur farms, in which these animals are kept on, and the methods used to skin these animals. Nowhere is it written on the tag of a fur coat or hat how and where this animal was killed, in what conditions it was kept. The fur farms are based solely on making profit. Therefore, the animals are packed tight in small cages, not even able to move. A large majority of animals will then end up going insane, begin self-mutilation, or even cannibalization of the other animals in the same cage. The animals are then electrocuted or beaten until unconscious, to then wake up and be half-skinned alive, which after being fully skinned are then left to die in unimaginable pain. Finally, there is no way of managing this industry, meaning there is not any way to differentiate the two farms. And secondly, you cannot control which species are being skinned. This industry could cause extinction to our native fauna. Would you really want future generations to miss out on living with the beautiful animals alive today because of our vanity?